Good to see you, Milind.
Thank you.
This is a very positive work. Vibes around the teaser, the trailer, whatever is out in
Yes.
social media.
Yes.
How satisfied you are?
I'm happy that there's been a positive reaction so far because everybody's put in such a lot of hard work. I think this would be on Indian OTT platforms the first medieval fantasy, and that is a genre that interests me a lot. We haven't seen a lot of it in India, and the response to the trailer and the posters and everything so far has been very, very positive. So that's nice. That's
Your
nice.
look is appreciated by everybody. Right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
up to the mark.
Yes, I think the whole styling, the art direction, the cinematography, the characterizations of each and every character, I think that has, at least in the trailer, I think it's worked very, very well. I am looking forward to seeing the first episode for sure.
What is the director? What is the director brief? The time when you came on board. When I talk about your character in the series.
So his brief to me, it is the first season of this series, so I think for all characters it's the same. You kind of learn about how the character is to be played as you go along from scene to scene. Even the director kind of has an idea, but then depending on how you play it, he says, okay, maybe it can be like this or it can be like that. And I think for every character it's like that, and even for Boris, which is the character I play who's a eunuch, we try to find the human aspect, rather than the stereotype of what people might think, oh, this is a eunuch, he behaves like this, or he should behave like this, or he should talk like that. So, but we try to find the human aspect more than the stereotype, So that's, so what Sachindra told me, who's the director, Sachindra Vats, he said that, your look is so over the top compared to what your usual look is. It's quite a dramatic character that don't overdo anything, just be as underplayed as you can be, and let your eyes speak more than anything else. So minimal gestures and minimal using a lot of over-the-top body language. So that's what we did when we played any of the scenes. And of course, when there was an emotional scene, there you don't really need to do anything because it's the emotions that really take over. The emotions are the focal point of the scene. So I would say that it's a complex process, but I think when people work together, which we did, so Sachindra Vats and I were quite in tune with what we wanted from the character in every scene, then it becomes a lot of fun and very satisfying. I'm really looking forward to seeing what it looks like on the screen.
Something out of the box, but the question is I'm asking you.
Yeah.
We have seen your journey in the industry, and you are the one who started this trend, who think out of the box, from the initial days to till current scenario. Is it an intentional effort to do everything which you does on real life or real life?
Yes, so it has been a part of my real life as well to do unconventional things, explore things that surprise me, things that I haven't seen being done before or commonly done. And as an actor also, for an actor, actually this is what all actors want. They want to play a new role every single time. But what happens is that directors sometimes, or producers sometimes, or the market or the industry or whatever you want to call it, it's stereotypes, you're typecast, you're saying, oh, this character was accepted by the audience, this character was loved by the audience, let's repeat this character. So it's sometimes something that is thrust upon an actor. And actors sometimes succumb to it, saying, oh, the audience loved me, let me play it again. And some actors just, their entire lives, and that is unfortunate, end up playing the same character, sometimes with the same name, over and over and over again. But for me, and I think for a lot of actors, it's not satisfying to do that. And for me, it's not a question of taking a risk or anything like that, because it's not a career for me, and I'm not come here to make a name for myself. I've come here to enjoy acting, So I do a little bit. I do maybe 100 days a year. I choose whatever, series or television or films or whatever I want to be a part of. And I do focus on that I shouldn't feel that I have done this before. And with this character, Boris, of course, is nothing close to anything that I've ever done. So it was really, some of the scenes were, you can't imagine any other character playing a scene like that. So it was very satisfying for me. And I've always tried to do that in real life as well. And that has kind of translated also into my journey as an actor. I mean, right from the beginning. I mean, a lot of people don't know that even when I became a model, which was in 1989, I also started my first company, which was an event management company. And I'm still an event manager, and I still manage a lot of events across the country. So I try to do, I have two separate lives anyway. One is away from the screen and one is on the screen. And they're both very, very separate. And in both, I try to do as many different things as I can.
You know, it also reminds me, as you said just right now, it also reminds me on your 50th birthday.
Yes.
And your walk
Yeah.
on the beach.
Yes. Oh, yes.
What would
Yes,
you say about
of
that?
course.
You-
Well, see, right from, I would say, modeling itself, you know, it's not that I wanted to be a model, because at the time I became a model, I didn't even know modeling was a profession. Of course, I had seen hoardings, and at that time I remember I would have seen Karan Kapoor, and I would have seen even Jackie Shroff or Kabir Bedi on hoardings. But the kind of background that I have, which is very academic, all four of my grandparents were doctors, my father was a scientist, my mother taught biochemistry. There was no connection with the media or glamour or anything like that. So when somebody offered me a job, I had actually said no. That I was very shy, I didn't want to be photographed, and I said no, but then they offered money, and they said, you know, we're going to pay you a lot of money, and it was a lot of money, and I said yes. And I did that first campaign, and then it was just, I said, oh, this is interesting, let's do it, and I continued like that. People remember Made in India, which was one of India's first music videos, and I was in that, and it became very popular. But even when I was doing that, I was like, this can be much better, and that is man. I told Ken Ghosh also, this is so tacky, who was the director, and for him also it was the first time. And I told Alisha as well, but it became so popular. So I have never, even though I thought it may not work, I have never refused anything. And even when I was a model, I used to wear the clothes that probably most models would refuse to wear. You know, and designers would say, okay, we know who's going to wear this, Milind is going to wear this. You know, so that is something that has been a part of my journey all throughout. So I'm also quite spontaneous, you know, in all the decisions that I have taken, even professionally, even personally, I'm quite spontaneous. I have an understanding of myself, at least, that I think that this is something that I would like to do. And this is something that I'm really comfortable with. Not only comfortable with, I'm going to enjoy it. I have an understanding of that. So to me, there's no risk. I'm going to enjoy it is the objective, right? So even when it came to this image that you're talking about, me running on the beach on my birthday, it was a spontaneous thing. I had done it many times before in many parts of the world, including India, and I posted it on social media. I've done it professionally. It's been on the cover of newspapers, nude pictures. A very famous ad I did in 1995, which was a Tough Shoes ad. So it's nothing new. It's not that I expected people to respond in a particular way. I said, it's a nice picture. I like the picture very much. My wife shot the picture. My mother loved the picture, you know, and I think most people liked the picture. Now, of course, in society, and in every society, not just in India, we have people who like certain things and people who don't like certain things. And there are many people and many cultures and many ideas and many opinions all over the world. Everybody has their own opinion. So you have to do what you want to do. You have to do what you believe in. You have to do what you think is going to give you joy. You know, you can't really stop yourself by thinking, oh, what are people going to say? A lot of actors stop themselves from playing roles because they think that their audience won't accept them. You know, so I don't live like that. In fact, when I first put up a picture of Boris, which was a behind-the-scenes photograph, it was just my eyes and my nose. So you could see the nose ring, and you could see my eyes, which had the kajal, and my face was almost covered with gulal, you know. And a lot of people said, "Ye kya hai? Where? This is not you." So I'm saying, of course, it's not me; it's a character. But I didn't say that. But this is the thing that people have, you know. They love certain things, they like certain things, they want things to be a certain way, and when it's not, they get a little upset. And they said, we like you as this macho, masculine guy, and we don't like you with this long hair and this bindi, and what is this? But that's not my problem. So I have to do what I want to do. And so I'm very happy with playing Boris in Paurashpur. And so far, then people started to like it when more trailers came out, when there was a little bit of the action, a little bit of the scenes, then they saw it. And then I think 99% of the comments that I get today, in fact, one trailer was released yesterday, were like, this is absolutely fantastic. So it's good. Till now, I really hope that I like the first episode, and I really hope that everybody else does too.
It means you're saying you're not here to please anyone.
I'm definitely not here to please anyone. I'm not here to hurt anyone either, for sure. I mean, I do think about those things. I would never do something that I knew would be offensive to something that I believed in, which would be, say, religious. Like, I believe that everybody has a right to their own faith, their own religion, and I respect all religions, all the ones that I know. I mean, I'm sure there are many religions I'm not even aware of. But if I thought that this would be offensive to any religion, I would not do it, Even sentiment, any kind of sentiment, because there's no need. But when it comes to what I want to do, which is not hurting anybody, it's just myself, my own life, then I like to ensure that I can do that. Because if we can't live our lives the way we want, then what do we have?
But the most challenging part while playing this character
is to, again, we have this habit of stereotyping people, whether it's doctors, or whether it's lawyers, or whether it's races, or whether it's a eunuch, or any transgender, or anybody. We have a habit of stereotyping people, that if this person must be like this community must be like this. So for an actor, I would say that the challenge is to find that basic humanness that speaks to everybody. And that's when a character transcends all cultures and all people and all beliefs, is when you find that basic human connection. So Boris is a transgender, he's a eunuch, he's neither man nor woman, but he's human, So to find that basic humanness and try to translate that humanness onto screen so that he connects with every single person who's watching, that is the challenge. And that's the challenge for every character, whoever it is. It could be a mafia don, could be a murderer, it could be a nun, it could be anybody. If that character wants to connect with the audience, they have to find the humanness inside.
When yesterday I spoke to Shilpa and she said it's a blend of Kama Sutra and Utsav. What's your take on that?
It's a blend of Kama Sutra and?
Utsav.
Utsav. Okay, I have seen Utsav. I have not seen Kama Sutra. I think you mean Meera Nair's Kama Sutra. Well, in terms of some of the visual aspects, yes, and some of the, I would say mostly the visual aspects, yes. The aesthetics, maybe, and I think that's good because it was very good quality. Utsav was also tremendously good quality, and so was Kama Sutra. So in that sense, yes, the cinematography, from what I've seen in the trailers, has worked beautifully. The styling, the colors, the tone, all of that is beautiful. But in terms of the characters, I think it's completely different. Like, people would like to compare it with also Game of Thrones. But I think the fact that it is a medieval fantasy, that is where the similarity ends, and that it's a kingdom. There is a kingdom. In Game of Thrones, of course, many kingdoms, and it's, feuds between kingdoms and so on. I don't know how they will progress from season to season, but the way it is set up now, it's nothing compared to Game of Thrones in terms of even the story or the characters. I think the producers have taken very great care to create characters that stand out individually and you won't compare to anything that you've ever seen before.
See, if anyone sees the visual...
I'll give you another example. In Game of Thrones, so I've not seen Game of Thrones, but I've read all the books. There is a character called Varys, who is a transgender. I don't think they say it, or maybe they do, that he's a eunuch. I can't remember that particularly. But Boris and Varys, there is a similarity in the sound of the name, but no similarity in the character at all. So there are. I mean, they're human beings. They're in a kingdom. There's a king. There's a queen. So obviously those things will be there, but everything else is completely different.
The film also, shows or convey it talks about woman empowerment.
It does.
And it also, when I talk about the title itself, says Paurashpur.
Yes.
Male.
Yes.
Dominated.
Yes.
Do you think it also exists in Bollywood?
What?
Male dominated.
Well, it exists everywhere in the world. I mean, we live in a patriarchal society. We know that, and that's where the whole conflict has come up of equality and equal opportunity and glass ceilings and whatever else you talk about. We live in a patriarchal society, and we need to have equal opportunities for women, and women need to find their voice, and we need to help women find their voice. All those things are true. And the interesting thing is that it was true 1,000 years ago, it was true 5,000 years ago, and it's true even today. So that is an interesting thing to see, that again at the human level and at the social level, how much have we changed? Not much. We still believe in the same things, even though technology has changed so much, our lifestyles have changed so much, but our values, our beliefs, our thoughts, how much has it changed? So to see when a person is in a position of power, or a person who is in great difficulty, what is the journey they choose? What is the choice? What are the choices they make? How much has that changed? And what do they base their choices on? What are their needs? What are their dreams? What are their ambitions? How much of that has changed? How much of the human story has changed? So it's interesting to see that in a setting like this.
You have a working experience with Anuji.
He's fantastic. Anu Kapoor, I've been a big fan. Again, he's like a chameleon. He and there are other actors in India as well who have been able to really explore playing different characters. He's always a surprise to see Anu Kapoor in any film, in anything that he does. He's always doing something different. And that is a dream life for an actor. I mean, he's done great stuff on the radio, he's done great stuff on theatre and television and movies, and in everywhere that he has been, he's done great stuff. And I think that is a decision. It's a decision for an actor. And sometimes when you get too popular, you might get too caught up in that. But he got popular maybe as a character actor, and that's great for an actor, because as a character actor, you are able to play whatever character you want. You're not caught up in the fact that people want to see me like this, so I can't do anything else. And some of our best actors, because they're so popular, get caught up in that, which is a little sad. But working with Anu Kapoor, I mean, I did 2 or 3 scenes with him. It's just a pleasure to see him, to be in the scene with him, to watch his performance. Sometimes you have to hold on to what you need to do because you're so busy saying, oh my God, he's so good, And I think all the actors, a lot of new actors, I mean, I didn't know a lot of them, but I think they've been chosen for their ability to bring those particular characters to life. So I think the casting has been quite good.
So last, what message do you want to give the fans of Milind Soman? Why they come and be a part of Paurashpur? So it is already, the buzz is really positive around the series.
Well, what I want from the people who watch, including people who already like me, is come and tell us what you think. It always helps, and especially for an OTT platform where there is so much freedom on choosing how you want to go ahead with the story, and that a lot of that depends on the response from the audience, which characters they like, which storyline they like. Sometimes when a character is really loved, the producers will kill that character. I mean, we've seen that in Game of Thrones, and especially on OTT platforms. But the way the story will evolve in the future depends a lot on the response from the audience. So I would like the audience to come forward and say they loved this, they hated that, they hope for this, they wish for that. That would be the best return that we can hope for.
It means you are hinting the possibility of a sequel.
Well, it has to have a sequel. I mean, this is season 1. There has to be a season 2.
Thank you so much.